The first thing that I want to point out to you on this one, this of course is the 3rd, 2nd, and 1st string, is how to practice it. Actually, I just was sitting here playing this and I thought of an interesting way to practice these, all of these. Instead of just playing them straight, like that, all the way up the fretboard, what I was thinking is that you could play each pattern 3 or 4 or 5 times before moving on to the next, and so you felt comfortable with it. So for example, on pattern 1, this is the first position of F pentatonic on the top 3 strings. You could play it like this. And just keep doing this until you feel comfortable to move on to the next pattern. Then you can move back down and combine those two. Then you move on to the 3rd one. Until you feel comfortable. And then maybe you might want to move back down. And go back to the 1st one. And then of course you could just start picking up the speed. Etc. So you don't just have to play all of these, exactly as they're written. You can experiment with them and make up your own exercises as well. But the whole point is to learn these different patterns and how to combine them. And then, of course, you could just move it up and start going on to different keys. All right? Okay, let's move on to the 3-string box positions next. Now we're on the 3-string box positions. Pardon me, kind of losing my voice here. And what I want you to do with these is kind of the same thing I just talked about in the last segment. You don't have to play these exactly as they're written. Keep in mind these are exercises intended to teach you the different positions of the pentatonic scale. And these are basically called box positions because blues guitarists, rock guitarists have developed entire solos based just on these box positions of the pentatonic scale. So, and if you think about it and you look at solos and you look at the music, you'll notice that most solos are played on the top 3 strings, on the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd strings, sometimes the 4th, but the lower the notes, or the 5th and 6th string probably are less likely to be included in your solo. So these box positions are really important, because this is where you're going to do the vast majority of your soloing. So as you're practicing these, you can play it exactly as written to begin with, like this. 3, 4. Like that, and go on up the fretboard. Now you can also just kind of swing it instead of going. If you want to swing it, you go. Etc. And then you can do the same thing we were just talking about as far as taking those and playing them, more and more quickly. Okay. And then lastly, you can take those and move them all over the fretboard in all the different keys. Obviously, this is the box position for the 1st position, F minor. and then move it all the way up. And combine all those different box positions because you're going to be using those a lot in your blues soloing. Notice how all of those little licks I was just improvising there all come from the first and the second box position. Okay? And I'm going to show you the, in fact, I'll just go ahead and do that now. I'm on the 3-string box positions, on the hammer-ons and pull-offs. And it's essentially the exact same thing, but instead of starting with this note, we're going to be hammering on and pulling off. So it's like that. Notice I'm only picking 3 times per measure. Okay? When I pick, it's going to be on the first note, then I hammer on, pick the next note, hammer on, pick the next note, hammer on, then I pick and pull off, like that.